Okay, second attempt. We're going to make a pair of silver ear hooks. This is I've been spurred on to make a video by my new friend Linda. So here are little ear hooks. I find it very hard to find good quality, economic ear hooks these days, so it's worth making your own. Yeah, and also you can make the size you want for the specific job or the specific earring, you know. Some people might prefer to buy semi-hardened sterling silver, or you might want to draw it through a draw plate to spring it up a bit first, because if it's recently annealed, they're very, very bendy. So, a bit too bendy, so keep that in mind. So here are some that I've made. So I'll show you there's a pair of earrings with ocean jasper, mother of pearl, silver plate with punch marks, and silver hook. And I think it's much nicer than these mass-produced so-called safety ones that are so sharp they catch in your hair, your scarf and your collar and drive people nuts. So I think that's much nicer. And if you want to have a safety feature, get these little nylon teats that you put on the end. You buy these for 1,000 for a peseta, so that stopped the earring ever coming off, and I think that's very nice. These ones have not got wraps because it's a long earring. I wanted shorter. You could have had something like that on there though. So let's crack on. Sterling silver, standard sterling silver wire. I'm using 0.75. Some people want to use thinner because of their ear holes, but you know, going any thinner than that, it's pretty... one, they can tear your lobe if they're too thin a wire. But anyway, hey, we can't please all the people all the time. We're going to measure our length. Going to do 2 5 centimeter. If you mark it on your bench and then you make several pairs at once, you'll get pretty quick at it. So look there, I'm going to measure off my 5, cut 2 the same. Square off your ends. And then just going to take the flat needle file across the ends. Excuse my fingers, they're very worn out. Square off your ends. Always keep the job tidy. Sand pad, fine, just to make those ends nice. You don't want anything that you could, if you can feel it with your nail, it's sharp. So just rounding off. Rounding off. If you want to put a bit of spring, let me hope that this is on film. Let's see. Oh yes, good. Use a piece of fibre now then. Hang on. Here's a piece of fibre. You could just as easy, it's like formica or similar. You could just as easy use a piece of wood, hard wood, a bit of bone, as long as it's flat and you got something flat to work on, even the table. You don't need a surface plate. You can spring these up a bit, look. Give them a good roll. Put some grunt into it. There, look. And you end up with a springier wire. You don't want these ear hooks to be too floppy. Spring them by rolling, look. Nice way to harden up your metal and to straighten it. No hammering. See? Always use your fingers first, nylon or wood or fibre next, metal last. So there's 2 nice straight wires. Good. Now we're going to bend up the little eyelet. So you're going to grasp the end, but not too high up. Look, you don't want a great big link near the end of your round nose pliers. You're gonna kind of ease it through. Don't grasp so that you're marking this metal. You should not be holding this so tight that you mark the metal. You're supporting the metal and pulling it round against your thumb. Come round, thumbnail in and up, and that's what you end up with, like an eye pin. Once again, holding, levering it round. Keep a hold of the wire. You're running it through your thumb. There you go, round to the end. And there's your eye pin. That's this first step, look. You could be making 6 or 7 pairs at once and you'll get real quick at it. Now we're going to do the wrap. Wrapping round, look, the neck. You don't have to do this, but it makes it a bit flash, a bit nice. I'm undoing a job that didn't work, so my wire's a bit iffy, but hey. Flatten that out a bit with the fibre as well, look. So it's a bit lumpy bumpy because I was going to make a chain out of this, but it's so thin. This must probably be 0.5 of a mil, I would expect. Look, next thing you're going to wrap. You're going to put the tail end of your wrapping wire, sterling silver, through there and hold it tight. And then you're going to pull away and you're going to wrap. If you find it hard to hold it tight enough, hold it with your snipe nose pliers and wrap. Count how many, probably 6 will do it, unless you want a specific job with longer ones. There, you're going to stop there, you're going to cut them off with your snips so that you're cutting square. You don't want a nasty sharp end there, and then with your square snipes you're going to tuck in the end. Tuck in the end. And that should be invisible. Then with the excess tail towards you, oops, cut that high up. There's your excess. Cut that off. Ease that tail up with your nail and squish it down. Gently does it. Now, so there, that's neat as 9pence, look. We'll do the next one, same deal. Square off your end. Pass it through the eye, excess, hold it or use your snipes to hold that tight and wrap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think I did. There you go, one more for luck. That's okay. Make them match, you know. Square up, cut your excess, crimp your end in. Turn it round. Always your excess material towards you with these cutters, otherwise you'll get a sharp end on your wire, which you don't want. You want a nice square cut, so there. Cut it back. Can hardly see it, it's so tiny. And there's Tuco wanting his grub. Cut your excess and ease that tail up and squash that in. I'm just going to close that up a bit. Okay, now next step. Opposite your closing, so the link's going this way, you want the link to be with the join in the link there, the hook, in the inside of the hook. So you're going to bend this back to about, what is that? 45 degrees. Do that on both. So there's the open part of the link that way, so I'm coming back this way against your nail at the top of the wrap, about 45 degrees. Yeah, and then using a mini triblet, and crimp. Coming round and crimp. Not finished yet. You're going to tweak until you have the shape that you want. You're then going to hammer. You're going to hammer this part of the hook, which is going to make it springy. Look, see on this one. Hammer that using a little chasing hammer. This is my favourite hammer for most things. Look, on the edge of your surface plate. Be careful, you don't want to be marking the wire. So I look very conscious that it's up against the wrap, and I'm just going to be hammering this quarter. Ding, 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 ding. See that? So that's nice and thin now, and that's also where you're going to hallmark, or your maker's mark, or whatever you fancy. Same deal on this one. Now I'm going to mark. Hope you're seeing this. Hope you're seeing this. I'm now going to mark with my little 925 sterling silver, 925 parts to 1,000. 925, 925, and these hardly need polishing, you know. You might want to just and no more take the calico over them, but quite honestly, that's a very nice, user-friendly, because you've done your ends, user-friendly ear hook. And if you were making half a dozen pairs, you'd get very fast at that. So there you are, little ear hooks. Hope that's fun to do. And on we go. Bye bye.